Okay, hello everyone. My name's Adam Rankin. I'm a PhD student at Robarts Research Institute at Western University, and I'd like to walk you through setting up a development environment for Slicer and Python using LiClipse as the development environment. So let's get started. Basically, I want to walk you through my sort of development environment. So I have a very short path here so that I can build Slicer in Windows with no complications due to path length problems. But most importantly, I'd like you to note the two paths related to my extension that I'll be demoing here today. This is my checkout folder, and this is my build folder. And I want you to notice these because if you go into your build folder, there are two Python files here with AutoTool biplane and biplane that I'm going to just use as my kind of example. And then in the checkout folder, there's also these Python files. And this can lead to complications later when you're trying to debug. If you're putting breakpoints and nothing's happening, it's because you've used the wrong file. So I'm going to be working with my build files because this is the one that I'm going to point my slicer to load the modules from. So let's get started. So first, I'm going to assume you've downloaded and installed LiClipse. I'll add a link in the YouTube description box. But here is mine. And I've deleted my workspace details to have a fresh install. I'm going to choose a light theme because that's what I like. And yes, a restart is required. Why not? Okay. So this is the default view from LiClipse. So first we're going to set it up as per the instructions written by Andras Lasho of Queen's University. I'll add a link for that as well in the box. But first we go to Window Perspective, Customize Perspective. In the action set availability, we enable the Python debug, specifically start and end server. Okay. Which brings these up, which is great. They might be in a different location. They might be over here. They might be on a second row. But basically, you're looking for these two icons. Then we're going to go to Window Perspective, Open Perspective, Other. And this will take you to the debug layout, which is great. I'm going to reorganize things as to how I like to work. You'll find your own setup, no doubt. But this is not bad for a single monitor setup. Typically, I have dual monitors, so... Okay, that's good enough for now. And I'm actually going to leave this because we're going to move over to Slicer now. So I'm going to start with Slicer. And I believe in this install I already have Slicer IDT installed, so you'll see some settings related to that. So, oh, sorry, that was a little bit too quick. So under Edit Application Settings, under Modules, oh, it's already there. Well, let me remove it so that... So, you know, this is as if Slicer IGT is already installed. You can see its location there, which is great. So I'm going to add in the path to my files. And this is where I'm choosing the build folder. There, parent folder. So this is great. So now it's going to load any modules it finds in that location. And I'm actually not going to restart. I'm going to kind of cheat a bit. I'm going to go to the Extension Manager and install under Developer Tools the Pydev Remote Debugger, also written by Andras Lasho. Okay, and now I'm going to restart. So, now, in your list of modules, you'll find the Python debugger module, which is great, and then just to check that mine loaded correctly, yes, great. So, we're going to go to the Python debugger. Oh, pretend that's empty, because obviously I've already had this set up and using it. So this is what you'll see upon first load of the Python debugger. So we need to locate this file, which came with your installation of LiClipse. So let's locate that now. 64-bit. So once you're in your install directly, it's under Plugins, org python pydev _ version number. Okay. You choose the Py source folder, and hit choose, and that's it. You're done. So now we're going to connect it. Oh wait, sorry, I lied. Go back to LiClipse first. Start the debugging server. You'll see in here in your console, debug server started. If you hit stop, you'll see terminated, so you want it to be running good. And I hit connect. Now Slicer is paused, as it says, until you go back to LiClipse, and you'll get this window. If this is your first time doing it, you'll get these preferences. I'm going to leave the defaults. You can explore them if you want. And I'm going to don't ask again, because we don't actually launch Python from LiClipse. LiClipse always attaches to Slicer, or Slicer I guess always attaches to LiClipse. And I don't actually launch anything from LiClipse, so I'm just going to not configure anything at the moment. And you'll see here that it's opened up to the Pydev Remote Debugger module, and it's waiting for us to resume. And so I'm going to resume it, and then you'll see here that Slicer is now responsive again. So now we're connected. We have an active debugging setup. So now I'm going to load my demo files, and you'll notice that I chose the directory that I chose in my Slicer modules location. So I'm going to go to this path here and load. Let's work at Auto Tool Biplane. Great. So here I've gotten used to LiClipse. I quite like it. You can browse methods pretty quickly. So let's watch what happens when we change. Let's do an output volume. So by double clicking on the gray area, I've set a breakpoint. Very cool. And so now I go to Slicer. I go to my Auto Tool Biplane module. And first we need a volume to switch to. Good, so we have a couple volumes. And I'm going to switch. And it looks like Slicer is hung. Okay, so you can't hear it. Oh, okay, there we go. So Slicer is quote-unquote hung. Because in LiClipse, we have a little blue arrow here. I hope you can see it. So this indicates that we are now paused in debugging. So this is great. So we can inspect the variables. So I'll just make this a bit bigger for you. Hopefully you have a multi-monitor setup and you can move these things to another monitor or whatnot. But if not, you can resize. So we can explore these variables. So here's the self, which is an Auto Tool Biplane widget that has some member variables. Here's a combo box with different settings. So you can explore your variables. Here's the caller, which is a parameter to the function. So you can see that it's a scalar volume node, and it has a bunch of values to it. Also has some constants. Well, the class has some constants, but basically you can explore. There's step-through debugging, so you can have your classic step into, step over, step return, and you're pretty much good to go. So I'm going to wrap up the tutorial there with a little step return. I remove the breakpoint, and I'm going to go back to Slicer, which is responsive again. So I'm going to end the tutorial there, and I will follow up with further tutorials as people ask questions. So please feel free to contact me at arankin@robarts.ca. My name is Adam Rankin again, and hopefully this was useful to you. Thanks.